Hello everyone. This is the continuation of the video where I taught you job application. I hope you practice writing a job application. Did you also look at the internet and try locating different job applications? If you haven't done it, please do it. See that you learn writing different job applications for different positions. Alright? Okay. So we'll go with resume writing. And firstly, before I teach you the pattern or the format of writing a resume, you need to understand the difference between resume and resume. Most of us, use the second word, that is resume. Now, what is the meaning of resume? Yeah, resume is to continue, right? You have this option in videos. When you are watching a video and suddenly you get a phone call, you attend the phone call, and when you go back to the video, there is an option called resume, which means continue. That is the meaning of resume. Resume is a paper or a sheet of paper which gives all your details, personal details as well as educational details. So it is called resume. Now today I am going to teach you how to write a resume. Now before you start writing anything about yourself or your educational qualifications, the first thing that you should do is write the title resume. Okay, it should be on the top margin of your paper, right? Resume. And below this, I am going to put them on paper on the board here. Copy it down in the same way, but don't write my name, write your name. Alright. So for the resume, which is in the center, you will start writing with your name. Now I am writing my name here. Please write your names there. Okay. So this is how you start writing. It should come in the center. It should be on the center of the page. Your name followed by your address. Okay. Write your address there. Flat number 109, and then write whichever apartments that you come from or whichever place that you want to write. Okay. And then this is your address. First write your address in full, and also if possible put your pin code too. Okay, put your pin code too. So under the resume in the center you must write your name followed by your address and your pin code, and then after the pin code in the center itself you will write your email. Alright, your email. Email is xyz at gmail.com. Okay, so you will write this, you will write your email. Now I would like to talk to you about something very important when it comes to email. When I give you letter writing, resume writing as a assignment, you people submit your resumes to me, and sometimes I come across very funny emails. The way you create your email sometimes is for fun. You try to have fun with your friends and you create an email that way. And you cannot use the same email when you're writing something which is as professional and as formal as a resume. Yeah, your employee has to communicate to you through your email. And if you have emails, I'll tell you as an example. I received a job, a resume with an email which said, "Will you marry me at yahoo.com?" Yeah, why will I marry somebody? Yes. Will you? That was the email that they gave me. That was how that was framed. So don't, even if you have such emails, please see that you change your email. Try making your email look professional, right? It should look professional. So I'll give you an example of my email. In the beginning, sometime in the years 2001 and 2, when internet was just blooming and emails had just come into existence, we were given an option to choose whatever you want. These days, when you give your options of the mail, your email, it says it is already taken. Yeah, somebody is already using this, isn't it? You come across all this. But during my time, 2001 and 2, when I actually created my email, I had hordes and hordes of emails which are open. I could use anything and everything that I wanted. So at that time, I said my email would be Asha_gorgeous30 at yahoo.com. This was what I did, right? And now when I have to give this email to anybody, it makes me feel embarrassed, because what is Asha underscore gorgeous? That that sounded good then, but not now. It does not look professional when I do that now. Okay, so that way, please change your emails. Don't give emails which sound silly, which are funny. Okay, don't do that. Try making or creating new emails which sound professional, right? So this is the beginning of your resume. You start writing the topic as resume, under which you will write your name, the address, and the pin code if you know it correctly, and then your email. Is this clear? Now after this, after you finish writing with your resume, now you have to go to the left hand corner. Like you write your letter, you will go to the left hand corner. On the left hand corner, I am going to write it here. Please take this down. On the left hand corner, below your email address, the email address ends here. Okay, if the email address ends here, okay, leave some space, and to the left corner, write position sort. Position sort. Okay, position sort. And here you will put a colon, 2 dots, position sort. Now what is the position that you have applied for in a job application? Yeah, yes, you are right. It is a general manager. So position sort, put a colon and then write general manager. Right? Now after that, go to the next point. After position sort, write objective. Right? Objective. Yeah, objective. See, this objective, to explain to you in simple words, is an aim that you write when you are writing an experiment. Before you are writing the steps of the experiment, you must have written it in your science records, isn't it? Your chemistry record. You must have written, the aim. Aim. What is your aim? What would you like to do with this experiment? Isn't it? You would write that. Now here, objective is also the same. Is very similar to the aim before an experiment. Here you are writing what is your objective, what is your aim, what do you want to do in life. So that is what you will write in the objective. Right? Now for the objective, I am going to dictate an objective. Please write it down. But as I said, you have to change this objective according to your talent and your ability and your skills. Okay, you cannot use the same objective for any post. Now this objective is actually matching or is suitable for the post of a general manager. And so this objective. Is this clear? So your objective should change according to the post that you are applying for. Right? Okay. Take down the objective for the post of a general manager now. Start writing. To contribute to the growth of a leading company, by working in a challenging position, where I will have opportunities to utilize my exposure and expertise. Expertise, I am putting the spelling here, E-X-P-E-R-T-I-S-E. Expertise is nothing but experience. Okay, so I repeat, where I will have opportunities to utilize my exposure and expertise in managerial skills. Managerial skills are something that you've already written in your resume. Okay, expertise in managerial skills. This is your objective. Now what is your objective? If you read that once again, to contribute to the growth. That means your aim. What is your aim? You want to contribute from yourself. You want to help the company grow. Any company would be happy with your objective. This guy or this girl wants to, see my company grow. That's going to make them happy, isn't it? Okay, so growth of a leading company. You're already saying that this company is a leading company. Okay, whichever is that company, you don't know whether it is leading or it is on the top, list in the market, but you are already calling it a leading company by working in a challenging position, which means you are you are very good at taking up challenges. So any challenging position, you are willing to work and you are willing to see that your company grows. This is what you're saying, right? And how would you make this? By using this opportunity that the company is giving you. And when you are using this opportunity, what are you putting to use? You are putting to use your exposure to such a area earlier, and your experience in this area earlier. So you're saying that this is what I studied and I learned and my projects are all on this, and I'm going to be of help to you. I'm going to see that your company grows. So this is the command that you should have about yourself, right? So this is how you write your objective. Now after the objective, we will go with the next point, which is education, and very important in your job application, education. Now here, for education, I'll tell you how was it written traditionally earlier. Traditionally, a box used to be drawn, okay, and a box had, few columns. That was a table, a tabular form with rows and columns, right? And then you had serial number on the left hand corner, and then qualification, and or maybe degree, and then year of passing, percentage of marks. And this was a very traditional method of writing your educational qualifications. You said one, and then you started your qualification, and which year did you pass, and what was the percentage of marks. That is the place where you are shivery. You don't want to write the percentage of marks, right? So to make your lives easy, you don't have to use that tabular form. You don't have to draw that table with rows and columns. You don't have to do that. You have to write your qualifications in sentences, or maybe you can use bullet points. When I say bullet points, this is how you have these bullet points, yeah, first and then second, okay. This is how you use to write a bullet pointer. Now how would you start writing your educational qualifications? Yeah, this is again very tricky. You should understand how to do it. Educational qualifications are always written in reverse chronological order. Now reverse, you all understand, reverse, okay, backside on top, reverse, chronological order. Now when I say chronological order, okay, I'll give you an example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are chronological in order. If I say 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that is reverse chronological order. Now this has to be implied here. Now what is reverse chronological order? You will start with your latest qualification first. For example, BTech in whichever is your branch, EC, CSC, whichever is your branch, okay, BTech from, yeah, St. Peter's Engineering College, okay. Now this is, I have written it in the abbreviated form here. Please don't write it the abbreviated form. This is just to help you. Okay, BTech in CSE or ECE from St. Peter's Engineering College. This is how you should mention. So after BTech, you go down to intermediate. Inter from, there can be no other college other than Narayana and Chaitanya. Okay, so most of you would be either from Narayana or Chaitanya. So whichever is your college, please write there. And after intermediate, you will write your 10th class. That is SSC. SSC from whichever school that you have done from. Okay, is this clear? So this is how. And what will you do after 10th? You will not write your qualifications from UKG to PG. Okay, you will end at your 10th standard. Right? Is this clear? So end your qualifications at 10th standard. Wherever, whatever is your higher qualification, beyond BTech, if you have an MTech too, you have to stop with SSC from so and so. Where you don't have to mention your percentage of marks. You know why? Because your resume would have the photocopies of your certificates too. Right? You will be enclosing your photocopies of the certificates, so you don't have to mention the percentage. They will have a look at your percentage. Is this clear? Okay. So after educational qualifications, you will write, the next is experience. Yeah, experience. Now here, you are fresh graduates, isn't it? You are fresh graduates. Now what experience would you have? You would have no experience. So here for us Indians, we are very happy to write something like this in capital letters. Yeah, we write nil. which gives a very negative impression about you. Yes. So, when it comes to experience, yes, you have no experience. Please don't write nil. Nil is not supposed to be written. Rather, write fresher. Okay? Write fresher. This sounds more professional, more, it looks more, official when you write fresher rather than writing nil, right? Write fresher, and the person who's reading your resume would know that you have no experience and you are just a fresher. After experience, you will go for special skills. I put it on the other side of the board. Special skills. Yeah, special skills. Now, what are special skills? Special skills are other than your educational qualifications. If you possess any special skills like good communication skills, good leadership qualities, excellent managerial skills, okay, something that is special other than your educational qualifications, you have some added skills to you or your personality, mention them. In case you have no special skills, see, as I said, integrity is very important. In case you write, I have seen many students doing this, they write excellent communication skills, and your excellent communication skills are highlighted the moment an interview starts and the interviewer questions you. You open your mouth and start your introduction, and most of us, how we start our introduction. In my previous videos, if you remember, I told you that you start with myself, and the moment you say myself, the employer has understood what good communications you possess, because that is not the correct way of starting your introduction. You cannot say myself, rather you should say I am or my name is, isn't it? So if you're saying excellent communication skills, prove that you are really excellent in it. In case you possess no special skills, avoid this point, special skills, in your resume. Don't write it at all. Okay. So after educational skills, after education experience, and then special skills if you possess them, and then interests. Interests. Earlier, interest had a different word. Okay. I am going to put interest here. Now, what does interest mean here? Yeah. Earlier it was called hobby. Yeah, earlier it was called hobby. Now the same hobby has become interest. So what is your interest? Interest could be reading books. Okay, very commonly written among all you students. You say reading books. Now reading books you will write only when you are genuinely a book reader. These days you tell me how many of you are really reading books? Yes, 24/7 we are with our mobile phones in the hand, isn't it? Whatever reading you are doing it on the mobile itself. And what are you reading? You are not reading good novels, good storybooks, fiction, nothing, nothing that is actually of any use to us. Rather, we are all reading messages, aren't we? We are reading messages, we are reading different forwards, we are reading everything except books on the mobile, isn't it? So, when you will say reading when you are a genuine reader. Sometimes what happens is, in the panel of interviewers, earlier, during my time, we only had one interviewer and interviewee. That person opposite the table, and this me opposite him sitting there. Only two people. The interview was only between me and him. But then now you have a panel, around 5 to 6 people sitting. Among the 5 or 6 people, you have subject experts, you have, the top admins, and then sometimes you also have, psychologists who are actually studying your behavior. Top companies do that, even a psychologist is sitting in the panel. And along with the psychologist, you will also have a book lover. Book lovers, specially are included in the panel because they want to find out who are the book lovers or book readers here. The moment you say, I love reading books, or your interest is reading books, this book lover will start questioning you. Which was the latest novel that you read? Who was your favorite author? How was the plot there? Did you like the plot here? What happened to the drama? How did you think this should end, that should end? You are all confused, isn't it? Yeah? At that time what happens? Your BP goes down, your sugar goes high, you don't know how to answer because you are not a book reader at all. So don't write that you love reading books unless you are a book reader. Okay? Genuinely state your interest. And I used to follow a tactic when it came to interest. I used to say I love listening to music. Yeah, I love listening to old songs. Even if they ask me something about old songs and music, I would be prepared to tell them because I really love them. I really love listening to old Hindi film songs. Anything that you question me, I can answer you. Okay, I'm like that. So unless and until you have a genuine interest, don't mention it. Cricket. Many of you guys are very interested in that, playing cricket. Mention that, but don't write, reading books if you are not really a book reader. Fine. Okay, so those are interests that you would write. The next point is achievements. After interest, you will write achievement. Now, what are achievements? Achievements are things that you have achieved. Now, for example, you received a scholarship. Yeah, you achieved a gold medal. You were adjudged the best student on the school. Yeah, whatever are your achievements. In case you received any titles, any awards, any prizes, which are of use to this job that you are applying, only then mention it, right? Okay, achievements are a credit in its own, but then mention it if you think they are suitable or they would be of any help to this particular job that you are applying for. So write your achievements there, right? And then the next is references. The last point, by the way, is references. After achievement, you will write references. And references are always 2 in number. Okay? You will always mention 2 references. Now, what is the use of a reference? Why should you write a reference? Okay, let's take a software, company for example. Usually in the software companies, there is an internal message circulated where there are some openings there, and in case you know of somebody whom you can refer, please refer them to our company, right? So I might, in case I am working in the software company, I would inform my friends that there is some vacancy here, why don't you apply? Now, what is the importance of a reference? Now, I would refer only those people whom I think would be suitable for the job, isn't it? Because I have been working there for quite some time. I know the timing of the company. I know the work culture of the company, and whomever I'm referring to, I would know that that person would very easily adapt to the situations in the company. I would only refer such people, isn't it? So that is the reason why the company looks for references, because they can trust the employee who is already working there. They can trust the employee thinking that this employee is going to get another person, who is going to adapt himself or herself to the company norms, to the company's atmosphere, right? So that is why they look for, references. So when you as a student would have to give a reference, you have to give references of your HOD or the principal of the college, right? Now, in case the company wants to find out more details about you, they will connect with your HOD or with the principal of the college, and that is one of the reasons you have to maintain good relationship with your HOD and the principal. Yeah, don't distort your relationship with them. See that your behavior is good in the college, you are disciplined, you follow all the norms and regulations of the college, because they are the crucial references in your job application, right? So references are important for the company to see that another employee is on the same lines of the already working employee, right? So see that the references are not your relatives. Don't write reference as your dad or your mom. References should never be blood related to you. Usually, what references are given is the neighbor. The neighbor, the person who's living just next to you is given as a reference. If you applied for a passport, you would know this. When you're applying for a passport, they'll ask you for a reference where you have to give a neighbor's address as a reference. They'll come and contact your neighbor and find out what kind of a person you are. And in case you are not maintaining good cordial relations with your neighbor, you had it, you will never get your password, your passport, because that's what the neighbor would, convey to the constable who comes, to review your personality. So see that you have cordial relationship with your neighbor if you're applying for a passport too, right? So the same with your references here. So this is the end of your, resume, the actual part of your resume. So these points, from the position, from the objective, from the position sought to the last one, references, comes on the first page of your resume. Now you have to go to the second page. When I say second page, I will not ask you to write it on the next side of the sheet. You will not write it on the next side of the same sheet. You will go to a fresh page, and in the fresh page you will title it like you titled resume here. You will title the next page personal details. Okay, you will title the next page personal details on the top in the center, right? Personal details, where you start writing your name first. Yeah, personal details will have your name first, followed by your father's name and then your mother's name. This is very important these days. Father's name and mother's name are mandatory these days. Okay, father's name, mother's name, and then you will write your nationality. The order can be anything. You can actually go in any order. But then what I would suggest is write your name, father's name, mother's name, your date of birth. Your date of birth, please give the correct date of birth. Girls, especially you cannot hide your age. So give your correct date of birth. Date of birth, and then date of birth, as I said, the date can be written in any way that is comfortable to you. After the date of birth, write your mother tongue. Yeah, mother tongue. Now this reminds me of a joke, a child, a student maybe, when he was writing his resume, he spoke different languages at home. So because he was speaking Hindi, Telugu, Tamil and Gujarati and stuff like that at home. So he went to his father and he said, Dad, what do you think I should write for mother tongue? And you know what the dad said? He said, right, it is very long. That's right, yeah. But then that is not what you write in a mother tongue. For the mother tongue, you write whichever is your spoken language at home, Hindi, Telugu or Tamil or Kannada, whatever it is, mother tongue. And after mother tongue, write your nationality. Nationality is obviously you're an Indian, so write your nationality. And then another very confusing aspect of your resume is marital status. Now I'm going to put that spelling here on the board. This is marital status, M-A-R-I-T-A-L, marital status. Now this reminds me of another joke that happened with me when a student submitted his resume to me. For the column, where marital status was written, he wrote karate, kung fu, black belt. I called him and I said, oh my God, what are you going to do after getting married? Are you going to do this? Then he said, ma'am, you asked for my martial status. I said, that is not martial status, that is marital status. Now, what is marital status? You have to state whether you are married. Okay? Now, you are all not married, isn't it? All of you are not married. You are yet students and you have a long time to get married. So, what will you write there? Now, as the custom goes in India, if you are not married, the very simple word that you use there is you write unmarried. Yeah? Now, unmarried is something that does not exist in the English language. There is the opposite of married is not unmarried. Yeah, married and unmarried. How can you get unmarried? Yeah, you remove that Mangal Sutra, throw it on his face and say I'm unmarried. You can't do it, isn't it? So the opposite of married is single. Please remember not to write unmarried. You should write single. Okay? Is this clear? So single is the right word to be written for marital status. So like this, you can add any other details that you would like to add for your personal details, and that would come on the second page of your resume. So your resume should always consist of 2 pages. One, the first page where your details of address and educational qualifications and achievements are given. The second page where it consists of your personal details. So this is how a resume is written, and your resume should always be accompanied with a job application. So I would want you to practice writing your resume. I've only given you a few hints or a few points that have to be written. See that you practice writing your resume, and I'm going to meet you in my next video with another topic. Thank you so much.